There's a guy in this gym who does steroids.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
But here's the thing with steroids, dude. It's so taboo that someone could be doing it and no one would ever know.
He was on juice?
I mean, that's the word on the street, was that he was
Allegedly.
he was taking stuff.
Allegedly.
No, he got caught. No,
I don't know.
He didn't get
That's why
banned
I'm
for
just
it?
gonna keep throwing out allegedly.
That's a giant hint, bro. That is a giant hint, man.
A small big hint.
And honestly, the more that we talk about these type of hints, like names are gonna come
Start
up in
popping
people's minds, dude.
And Vitor used to come to that gym.
Dude, that's a big roid guy.
Oh yeah, dude. All kinds of roids. Like, this guy is the king of roids.
And he had the traps to prove it,
yes,
bro.
literally the traps. Hey gang, welcome to the White Belt Questions podcast. Today we're covering some crazy topics. We're going to be talking steroids. I don't know, do we need them? Do we not need them? How it feels like to be under like a roided freak who's about to smash your face. I think we're going to be talking about some other controversial topics like some hygiene stuff, but mostly about the steroids and do you need them to get to your black belt?
I hope I didn't pop the mic when I yelled.
No, I don't think you popped anything. Yeah, I heard your knees pop when you bent over and you
my knees
tried to
are
get
bad.
the angle. Literally, it was like a sonnet. Your knees were like
Yeah, double pop.
Yeah. Knees feeling all right?
My knees are all right. Could probably shoot him up with some steroids.
Yeah, the topic of the day. We're gonna be talking steroids.
Steroided out knees, dude.
These
Fucking
damn
just
steroid
big
guys.
muscle, knee on belly.
You know, there's a guy in this gym who does steroids.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yep. I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna out him. Maybe you guys could figure it out if you get through the whole podcast. Hey,
All right.
whoa.
No. I'm not gonna say.
Keep it tight there, loose lips.
Yeah.
But you might know.
I mean, it makes
Actually,
sense.
look, if I'm gonna be super fair, just so that we're on the same page.
Yeah.
This person.
You want to say it and bleep it out?
No, I'm not gonna say it.
Okay.
But I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Or I could probably even show you like a photo or write it on my hand.
I'm getting excited about this.
Yeah, but they're no longer here.
They're no longer here?
They're no longer here.
Oh, my fucking guy just went away.
Oh, so it's not that guy? It's not who the guy you were thinking?
No.
Oh, wow. That means there are two?
I mean, I have another suspicion.
Oh, no. Well, no. I have a confirmation. You have suspicion.
Yeah.
I know for a fact.
But here's the thing with steroids, dude. It's so taboo that someone could be doing it and no one would ever know.
I mean, no one would ever know. If I have like a extra muscle coming out of my neck, I think that's like a bit of a hint.
That's a giant hint, bro. That is a giant hint, man.
A small, big hint.
And honestly, the more that we talk about these type of hints, like names are going to come
Start
up in
popping
people's minds, dude.
If I'm being straight, man, I don't think you'll ever figure it out, dude. If I'm being really honest.
So this guy had no muscles to show it off?
It's because I don't know if you've ever seen him pre-muscle. Or to be honest, if I'm really being honest, and this is kind of a hint, I don't think you've ever seen him, period.
Oh, well, what the hell? How am I supposed to know?
Hey, dude, I just said the guy comes to this gym. That's all I said.
He still comes to the gym today?
No longer comes to the gym today.
Okay.
You know?
I guess we'll never know.
I mean, maybe, there's going to be some hints here and there, but like, I only speak about this not because, like, again, he's cool with it. Like, if you were to open up this conversation with him, he would open it up, like, gladly.
Yeah.
Whereas there are some people where you think you have the suspicion, as you say, they got that neck thing going, and you're like, I think you're on steroids, but you just never know. And, dude, it's actually pretty wild, that thought of, are you on steroids? Aren't you? Like, there's so many factors that come into that. Age, like just kind of like your body disposition. Like some people are super skinny, some people are jacked. Like, dude, there are some dudes that like they work out for a month and you're like, you're on steroids.
So you're saying that you could be a skinny ass dude and be on steroids and still not gain muscle?
Well, I mean, for sure you're going to gain muscle if you put in the work and you do the workouts. But some people, they get on the juice and, dude, it's like
they blow
overnight.
Up.
It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then there are other dudes who have to work so hard. They don't have that disposition.
Anderson Silva, right?
He was on juice?
I mean, that's the word on the street, was that he was
allegedly.
He was taking stuff. No,
allegedly.
No. he got caught. No,
I don't know.
he didn't get
That's why
banned
I'm
for
just
it.
gonna keep throwing out allegedly.
Well, look, I mean, you can go on YouTube. You can type in Anderson Silva,
Juice.
juice,
Juicing.
Mexican supplements,
Yes, I
allegations,
like that.
and it comes up, man. And is there a more body than Anderson Silva?
He's a total dad bod. I would never want his body.
That guy had no definition.
I'd want his abilities.
Kicked ass.
That guy
kicked everyone's ass.
Literally, kick people in the face and knock them out and shit. Pretty wild.
Kept him at a distance all the time. Elusive.
He fought this guy. Fudge, man, it's escaping me. I don't know if you know any of his opponents, but it was like he was like a Brazilian guy, super famous. Vitor Belfort.
The front kick.
The front kick straight to his face.
Yeah.
Dude, I was working out at a gym here in Montreal, and Vitor used to come to that gym.
Dude, that's a big roid guy.
Oh yeah, dude. All kinds of roids. Like, this guy is the king of roids.
And he had the traps to prove it,
yes,
bro.
literally the traps to prove it. So he would come to the gym, and man, it was such an odd experience to have him in the gym. Snowy day in Montreal. You get out of your, in this case, like this gym was like off the side of a highway. So like you get out of your car, it's all slushy. You're like lugging your feet through the snow. You're trying to find the will to just like work out. I mean, this is my experience because it's like dark and it's like 4:30 and you're like, man, this is going to be a tough one. You walk into the gym and the first thing that you see is freaking Vitor Belfort standing right there. And you're like, is that Vitor Belfort like standing in a gym in Montreal? And it was like, yes. And he had his, I guess like kind of like his manager with him and his dog. It was a weird combo. And his manager
in
was
the gym?
In the gym, yeah. Dog, manager, Vitor. Literally the three people together. And
was it a no dogs allowed gym?
Well, I mean, Vitor.
So when you're
Vitor do what Vitor wants.
The no dogs allowed rules.
He had one of those like sashes, the dog where it's like it has like a word on it, like security or something.
Yeah.
I guess he's
emotional support.
Yeah, like he's gaming the system.
Like fucking Vitor needs emotional support from a dog.
Yeah, so he had.
It's for his victims. I knock you out, dude. My dog will take care of you,
dude. Exactly that. Anyway, so his manager is like this, like I'm not talking ill of him, but he's like, just to give everybody like an image. He's like a heftier dude, like kind of round, and is like, like tugging along, walking beside Vitor. And then the class starts. And like at this gym, it was like stations. So we had like, it was like a circuit training. There was like 15 stations. And dude, this was like one of those gyms, obviously, like it had some high-end athletes there. It had Vitor, like they had NFL players come through, a bunch of NHL players. Like this is like it was the go-to gym for real athletes. And dude, those classes were brutal, dude. When I say brutal, like getting through them was extremely difficult. You were done at the end. So there was like these 15 stations and everybody is pushing really hard. So the level is super high. And you have Vitor and his like round manager and like a dog off on like a patch of like turf doing their own thing. So now you have like 40 people doing these circuits and working out and huffing and puffing. And then you have Vitor, his dog, and his manager kind of off on the side. Dude, there was this funny scenario where like, I'm telling you, he loves the attention. Like he wants everybody to know he's in the room and he's working out. So at one point, the round dude puts on like that round, like, that
like a belt to lift, or
it's not like the belt, but it's like a giant pad around his stomach.
Oh yeah,
so that you can give him shots
in
his belly, but also shots in his ribs. It's like this giant pad. So he puts that on, and dude, Vitor just starts wailing on him, but like wailing on him, and so loud, like screaming loud. Like he wants everybody in the gym to like be like, "What's happening over there?" and visually see him just really ripping through this guy, to the point where, I'm not kidding, the gym kind of quieted down over his voice and everybody was kind of side-eye looking at him, just pop, 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 just wailing on this poor guy. And I think he went longer than what his manager can handle because he felt that everybody was watching him. It was like he was like sending a signal to all of these athletes, because the dudes there doing the class were jacked. They're huge. Like, hey, I can
I'm the alpha.
Yes, I am the alpha, and that's my dog. And this is my round manager.
And this is my poor manager.
Yeah, literally.
Who's now
dude,
completely out of breath.
he was done at the end. The manager, like, it was like they were in a scene, and the manager was like, "Dude, you pushed me to my limit there." And he was like, "Ugh." And then he was walking around, and then I asked him for a photo.
Did you get it?
I got it. Yeah, it's on my Instagram.
Which version? Really?
Yep.
Oh fuck! You know what? I'm gonna go look for that.
Yeah.
Which version of Vitor was it? Was it the Mohawk Vitor?
No, this was like the end of the line Vitor.
This was the I can't do steroids anymore. Now I got a dad bod.
Yeah, literally.
Body.
Yes.
Vitor.
That was that Vitor.
Okay. That was the post kick Bisbing in the eye.
Yes, take out his eye.
Lose his eye forever.
Yes, that guy. That's the guy. So, anyways, it was super cool. I saw a bunch of UFC fighters come through there.
Really?
Pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, was the owner of the gym somehow was involved with MMA, or?
I think like a lot of the guys, they were near TriStar, and so
that gym was near TriStar.
That gym was near TriStar. So it was like in that industrial kind of area there. Yeah. And
not more.
Yeah, exactly. Right around there, like literally in the back where they used to have like the horse races and shit. And I think they would send them there for conditioning because the owner of that gym was he's a beast mode, man. That guy was beast.
You know, that neighborhood changed, dude.
For real.
Oh man, I went on a date with this girl who lived in that neighborhood. Behind that, they built these giant condo buildings.
I feel like I've seen that recently. That makes sense.
And they like brand new parks, brand new condo buildings. At the bottom of the condo buildings, there's like freaking Provogos and everything. You could live in that neighborhood. Hey, this is the neighborhood, man.
Yo.
Downtown Montreal.
Vitor's working out somewhere.
There goes Carlin.
Put out Carlin. Yeah, shout out Carlin's our firefighter, local firefighter.
Yeah, but anyways,
you're saying the condo building.
Yeah. Dude, like even that horse track, is it still there? I
think
it's gone, dude.
Dude, that's where they put the condo buildings you're talking about.
No, it's on the other side of the. On the other side, yes,
they put some stuff there.
They're going to be building condo buildings everywhere, especially now with that new mall, the Marymount Mall.
Yeah, Royal Mount. Is that what we're talking about? Royal Mount. Yes,
Royal Mount.
Yeah.
Anyways,
F those guys.
A little bit of a side. I mean, it's a nice life.
Yes, dude.
You live in your condo. You got the grocery store at the bottom.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
Your elevator brings you to the food.
Dude, that's the greatest thing ever. When I was in because my background is my mom's side at least is Lebanese. I went to Lebanon a couple of times as a young kid, and like my mom's mom lived in like this like super small apartment right on top of a butcher, and like grandson, she always wanted to like, oh, are you hungry? Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Especially like in the Arab world, it's like they have to just feed you. Like that's the way they show their love. And she would, dude, no joke, throw down a basket off their balcony.
I love that,
dude. I'm not kidding.
Shit, bro.
I'm like, this can't be real. I'm like 12 years old. Like I kind of get some stuff. She would literally pull down the basket, yell out some stuff, put some money in the basket, and used to come back up with meat and like change. I'm like, this is a crazy system. Is this real?
Yeah.
It was epic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's the modern day version of that. Living on top of the grocery store.
Yeah. Except for back in the day, it was with baskets and
Carlin's just super busy today.
Yeah, a lot of fires.
All right, Max, let's tell the people what's on the agenda.
I'll tell you, dude. I'm going to be doing steroids.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's on the path.
I need to start. So now we have a lead. You say that we know someone that came to this gym that has done steroids. We got to track him down.
Yes. He gave me all the information.
He gave you all the info?
We don't have to work so hard
anymore. We've been talking about steroids for, you've been holding out on me, bro.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Yeah.
For what? For my health?
Maybe you have to, I feel like you have to hit a certain age before we hit like steroid ready max. Like, I feel you're still a little bit young.
What's the age?
I mean,
45, 50?
I had 50 in my head, but 45 sounds a little nicer, a little shorter range.
Honestly, the responsible way to do it would be to go to a doctor, get the blood test, what are my levels at? Am I low?
Well, to be honest, that's exactly the way.
Yeah.
Like, what are we gonna do? Get some on the street?
I mean, you know me, dude. I'll
You'll
take
do
anything on the
anything,
street
yeah.
and stick it in
Yeah,
my
dude,
body.
I gave you like a cookie before. You asked no questions. You just ate it.
I was actually hoping that there would be steroids in the cookies, to be honest with you.
Good.
I was secretly hoping.
Something in here that's gonna
Yeah.
give me one of those.
The
Yeah.
traps.
Yeah.
I gotta
Okay,
walk
well,
around.
what's the question that
Okay.
we got? Because this is white belt questions.
baby.
So, and who shot us this question?
Okay, so welcome to the show.
Let's get it.
If you haven't realized yet, this is the White
That
Belt
was our
Question
intro.
podcast.
You guys learned a lot on that.
And we got questions today from Esteban, Lena,
Sick.
Hugo,
Nice.
Krevlo,
Epic.
a comeback, a double comeback from our number one podcast question asker, Emmanuel David with an E.
Yes. Manny Marabella, my homie,
Yeah,
judo master.
yeah, the judo guy. The guy who
Tell me.
I will pull guard on with
Every
no
time.
shame every single time.
No questions asked.
Because I want to win.
Yes.
And I'm not going to let him throw me around.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
Pull guard right away.
One time I tried, one time, I've got just a little snippet story here. Manny brought me to his judo school.
I went there too once.
The same judo school? No, dude. It's not the
NDG in the
same
basement?
Manny.
Oh, different Manny. My bad.
Yeah. This is Manny Marabella,
That's
father of three,
That's right.
epic human being, Italian. Other Manny is also epic human being. They both love judo. But Manny, father of three, took me to his judo gym in deep in Laval. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a disaster. I'm not built for judo. I'm built for the ground type thing.
Dude, judo is where you go to get injured. A lot of guys that get or used to get or have gotten injured in this gym, wrestling class. When Manny used to do judo here, people would get injured.
Other Manny.
Yes.
Yes.
The last injury that Mateo got was from doing stand-up with Carlins.
Dude, stand-up listen, I honestly feel in my heart that stand-up ground game, everything is dangerous in its own sense. They all have types of dangers, but definitely, in my opinion, the calamity that can happen from stand-up can be pretty wild. Whereas there is a way that you can control the calamity when you're on the ground.
I think so too.
I can play a certain game on the ground that really limits your ability to hurt me. But if we're both standing, and your weight starts crashing down on my knee, man, there's some shit that can happen there. But anyways, let me tell you the Manny story. So I walk into this gym. Shout out to Judo Ben. You know that when the guy's name
the judo
is part of the school, it's a problem. I was like, this is going to be a thing. And I was wearing my purple belt at the time, and they all knew this jiu-jitsu guy was coming. And it was in this deep town in Laval, dude. Honestly, I know this sounds silly. It sounds super silly to say, but honestly, every guy in that room, I don't think ever even got the chance to roll with a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. For real. If you're not in the jiu-jitsu scene and you never, you're into judo. So they're like, oh shit, this kid's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu.
Were they doing the stand-up only judo, or were they doing the also we go to the ground and we spend some time there judo?
So in my mind, that was kind of part of the discovery. I was like, okay, what's going to happen? So I walk in, there's this kid's class going on. I was like, all right, cool. There wasn't a locker, so I was like, all right, this is all right. Get dressed, It's like, okay, Manny, don't leave me alone here. You don't want your friend to kind of leave you out in the cold, so that you're not with some stranger who ends up freaking somersaulting you to the oblivion. And we go through all of the drills and all of the exercises that Professor Ben was showing, and they were all just basically going through the judo kind of curriculum throws, Wazimata, or all these names that sound crazy. And we're doing 10, 15 reps each, and there's this giant black belt. Dude, the guy was an ox of a human. I'm not kidding. His hands, I just looked at his hands, and I was like, those are butcher hands. These mitts, he looked like he was wearing freaking baseball gloves on both hands, but those were his hands. I was like, what is this? We're gonna like spar me and you, dude. Your hand is my
that's ridiculous.
face. It was so ridiculous.
Dude, that guy gets a grip on you.
Done.
Done.
Dude, and he's just hovering around me. I can tell. You can tell that energy where you're like, this guy wants to find out.
Yeah.
Because I'm wearing, yeah, dude. He's like Trump style, like
he's eyed you out.
Dude, he kept coming and he kept correcting and like hovering, and I was like, during the sparring session, this guy's gonna come. He's gonna want to throw me around to assert his dominance and make me just aware. So I'm mentally prepping myself this whole class, thinking in my head, I'm gonna have this ox of a human who was like, I think he was Greek or something, so I had this heavy accent. Anyways, he was super kind. Like, I'm painting him out to be like a villain, but he isn't. He was the nicest guy.
He sounds like a villain, bro.
He totally saw me like the goldfish, and he also wanted to be like, I don't know. This is the like rhetoric that I had in my head where it's like, all right, I'm gonna show this jiu-jitsu guy. Anyway, so we do the whole class. I have this guy top of mind the whole time. I'm trying to plan my escape to some extent. And then it's time to roll. Well, roll, whatever they call it, spar, And then the professor's like, all right, guys, and now we've done, no joke, an hour of stand-up. An hour of like,
so exhausting.
Always with these hand and leg movements, I was like, okay, Manny, let's do it. Time for me to take my beating from you. Fair is fair, because like I put it on him when we roll jiu-jitsu. I'm like, fair is fair. You're my homie. Smash me into the oblivion. I will give you my best. And then teacher's like, all right, everybody, we're about to spar, so start on your knees.
Oh,
I was like,
thank you. Thank you, Lord.
What is that, Lord? You shine down on me. I looked at Manny. I was like, on our knees? And he's like, yeah, we do the sparring. He's like, he doesn't want anybody to get hurt. I was like, dude, you guys are a judo school. You start on your knees? He's like, yeah. It's like, bro, I'm going to destroy all of you. He's like, really? I'm like, there had been some time since we had enrolled, actually. It was like the first time he brought me, like we reconnected. We got into a room together, and it had been a while. So he couldn't gauge the gap in just how good I had gotten. So in his head, he just didn't know yet exactly. So, and he was interested to kind of find out like how much better did I get. We start on our knees, like we're taking it slow, and it's like, Manny, I love you. This is like your question the other day of like, should I talk about tapping people? But anyways, the roll went how it should have, given the fact that I train jiu-jitsu and Manny trains judo.
Wait a minute. How the hell are you going to do judo?
I honestly don't
Starting
get it.
on your knees.
Yes.
And then what?
Yes.
How do you throw the person?
I honestly still don't know the answer to that question, but that's what happened.
Were they doing judo, or were they just doing jiu-jitsu? Or were they just hugging each other on their knees?
Me and Manny started that way, and the professor did say like, hey, start on your knees, like don't destroy each other. But I'm assuming that there were some guys in the room that were probably like, yo, let's just stand up and let's do our thing type thing.
Okay.
So, or maybe, maybe he was just saying that for me. I don't even know.
Just saying that for you, bro.
But we should ask Manny, like, if that's the MO kind of over there. So anyways, I go through my roll with Manny, and then like big guy starts hovering around, and I'm like, oof. Even on my knees, dude, this guy was like, honestly, like probably like 250 pounds.
That's why they got weight classes.
Yeah. And he was like, oh, no. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to be with my friend now. Sorry. And I just stayed with Manny the whole class, and I got out of there. But I also think that's the best thing, because my ego would have kicked in. Mine. On the ground, I would have been like, yo, I'm going to tap you, jumbo guy. And you're going to see that, like, I'm the alpha in this room. I'm Vitor right now.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen, thankfully. I just kind of rolled with Manny a few times, and then, we got the hell out of there. So that's
you think that big guy might have been on steroids?
I think he was just like
steroids.
When he had a job that created steroids.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, some dudes are just like
a burly construction guy.
Yeah, that's probably the guy. Or a butcher. I don't know why I kept thinking butcher.
I mean, a real butcher, who gets the animals whole,
some work,
and they got to chop them up and put half a cow on your shoulder,
Some work, dude.
Maybe not half a cow, but big ass piece of meat on your shoulder. That's hang it up on those hooks like in Rocky.
Yeah. Rockies. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, those dudes are always the scariest dudes in like a neighborhood. You know, like in like a small town or something. Like it's always those guys that it's
Yeah.
like to be feared. The butcher.
I mean, dude, they got knives and they chop up meat. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Just that connection.
That's a lot.
You know who's another scary guy that we don't really think about? Are slaughterhouse workers.
Ugh.
They see so much death, dude.
Yeah.
Or any type of farmer with livestock
Yeah.
that just has like, well, time to kill that pig.
Oh man, it's kind of actually super morbid.
It is, dude.
It's super dark. Makes me feel funny.
All right, well, we don't have
Yeah.
to talk about it. But pigs do yell.
They,
You know-
oh, stop, dude. No,
All right,
man.
all right,
Where
all
are we
right.
going? I don't want to.
All right, my bad.
no.
All right,
Yeah.
Esteban wants
All right.
to know, why should I get steroids to get better at jiu-jitsu?
You know, Esteban. Actually, sorry, Max. I've been yapping away. You got you want first stab?
No, I mean, look, here's the thing, man. Especially for you, Esteban. You're young, man. You're young, dude. You want to get big, you want to have muscles, eat more food.
The kid's pretty jacked.
Yeah.
He's jacked. Honestly, for his age, he's
Yes.
jacked.
Yes. Definitely he's
Shout out.
He's fit.
Yeah.
He's fit. But if what you want is to get stronger, then you got to get heavier. Like we said last time, fatty equals strong. If you're a big fat fatty, it also means that you're a strong fuck.
Yeah, you're moving it around.
So I'd say before, and also with jiu-jitsu, the heavier you get, you're not going to be fighting these little guys in competition. It also means that you're moving up in weight class in competition. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, there's a thing there. But if you just want to have an easier time in the training room, Esteban, at your age, if you want to get stronger, just eat more and lift more weights. You can do it. You're a freaking young 20-something year old.
Yeah.
You can eat food, lift weights, recover for one day, come back here like nothing ever happened.
If he was on steroids.
No, if he wasn't on if he wasn't. We're going to get you steroids, bro.
Yeah. Well, here.
No, what I'm saying is that for a young guy like Esteban, I don't know that these guys are doing steroids, even at the competition, at the pro competition level.
Nah, dude, I gotta push back, man. They do it.
They do?
They do it, dude. Like, allegedly. I don't even know. Like, I'm just gonna keep saying that all the time, just to make sure one day, when we hit it big, some guy comes back on like the initial podcast. But allegedly, Mika Galvao, who's like breakthrough all-star guy,
yeah.
he got clipped, dude. And bro, I'll tell you something else.
What
Growing
a
up,
world we live in.
yeah, dude. Growing up in like the competitive sports landscape, parents are insane. When I say insane, they are insane. I will share stories in the future, like growing up playing hockey at the highest levels. Like,
Are they steroid stories?
dude, well, no,
Let's
they're not
hear it.
specifically steroid stories, but
I want names, dates,
Yeah,
suppliers,
yes, addresses,
and a lawyer, baby.
we covered all those bases. But when I say they're insane, the point that I'm trying to, drill home is the fact that these parents are willing to do anything just with this weird belief that they think their kid is going to hit it. Their kid is going to be the next Sidney Crosby. Like,
Yeah.
they're nuts, dude. And they
Yeah.
will put whatever it is to make their kid stronger. And there are a lot of these cases where the parents will start giving a version of like an anabolic steroid to their kid. Like, there's some really potent stuff in pill form that they started like just canceling. Like, you can no longer go to Popeyes and buy that stuff. Trust me, man. I grew up in the weightlifting room when I was in my 20s.
The good old days.
The good old days, dude.
What is it? GNC?
GNC, they had GNC and Popeyes had some wild stuff on the shelf, dude. Wild stuff. Like, you didn't need to inject to get like some crazy gains.
Now the only thing you can get is creatine
And vitamins.
and fucking vitamins. Who
Literally.
cares this shit? Flintstone ass.
Yeah, it's Flintstone stuff.
Chewables.
But back then, dude, it was some wild shit. Anyways, all that to say is that in some countries, like, it's very easy to get, powders and pills that really will have an effect on your kid. And they pump their kids with that stuff, dude. They really do. Like, it's nothing to them. They're just like, oh, I'm gonna have this advantage and I'm gonna take it. Mika got clipped for like, anyways, a bunch of them got clipped at that like IBJJF, that famous one where they all had to catch their flight. Like, did you hear that story?
No, I didn't hear that.
Dude, like it's like
But hold on, is IBJJF now testing for drugs? Or was it always this thing that like we test, but we, like Joe Rogan says, it's a test to see if you're stupid or not, because it's so easy to avoid that you shouldn't get caught.
My feeling is like they don't have like they don't have a program where they're like, hey, we want to make sure this is not going to be in the sport. This is just kind of like on a whim thing where some dude like at the helm is like, we're testing for steroids this week, bring in some people, but it's just kind of like a roller coaster. It's like maybe now and then no, maybe now, like it could be just literally on a whim. But that for this particular tournament, I forget which worlds it was, they were like, okay, we're gonna test people on the day of like all of the finals. So like all these dudes already made it to the finals. They're already juiced to the gills.
Wow.
And then
they didn't do their finals.
Dude, they like a handful of them were like, I can't make it to my final match. I'm gonna miss my flight back home. And they all just left.
Ridiculous.
Literally like like a bunch of athletes. But some of them stayed and they still got clipped with the thing. And like Mika, I think, being one of them, and like he pissed red type thing, like meaning like he got clipped. And dude, he's a kid.
Yeah. Is he?
Yeah.
20s?
20s, yeah, like low 20s.
Well, look, Esteban, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Maybe, except for here's the difference, okay? First of all, let's make it clear. I think steroids are unhealthy, right?
Good for you.
From what I understand, you can get really bad stomach issues and some other organ issues, whether it's like kidneys or whatever the hell. Do your own research, but there is a risk to doing steroids. And I think, I would say, unless you're followed by a doctor on like a monthly basis, which, because it's illegal, I mean, maybe you can find a fucking badass private doctor that'll want to do that with you. But then what, he's going to risk his practice to get you steroids? I don't think so.
The thing is like, we say illegal, like street drugs are illegal, but testosterone is legal. It just has to have like a certain context. Because if ever the doctor who's following you prescribes you testosterone and then, they come back and they're like, yo, dude, why'd you prescribe this 20-year-old testosterone? He's going to have to answer to those questions.
Yeah.
But it is definitely legal if you do it kind of the right way. But what was super interesting to me, and I know that knowing Esteban, I know he's always trolling. His question is, and I'm a wordsmith here for this stuff, why should I get steroids? Like he's leaning towards, why shouldn't I do steroids? It's why should I get steroids to get better at jiu-jitsu? It's like, this is my outlet to get better at jiu-jitsu. I just need a yes from you guys. So the truth is, you should. If you, I'm going to go the other way. If you want to be the best of the best, dude, and I'm saying the best of the best, no joke, you have to do steroids. Today, in today's landscape, if you want to be the best of the best, that means you're beating Gordon Ryan. All of these guys, if anybody can beat them, you literally have to do steroids. That's the honest truth. If you think you're going to beat those guys without being on steroids, you are lying to yourself. You're lying to everybody. I get it. It's maybe not ethically and morally good.
How about this? Guys, a name just popped into my head.
Hold on. Are we outing people?
We're not outing people.
All right.
We are not outing people.
Yes.
I'm not going to out people.
Are you going to get on steroids?
But I do want to get on steroids. I've been talking about it for years.
Yes.
But that's not what I'm talking. A name just got into my head to who might be doing steroids or who was doing steroids in this gym.
No, I don't. Well,
this person who was here isn't here anymore. Maybe there's someone doing steroids in this gym now. But I can't fucking say it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna get sued on this podcast.
Well, I actually probably one of the ways we know that somebody's steroids, if they keep beating us, I mean, safe to say they're on steroids, right?
No,
That
but
was kind
look,
of a joke.
guys.
Anybody who beats me
yes.
is on
Yes,
juice.
yeah. But
So Mortaza, steroids.
yeah, oh, more
Yes,
100%
100%
steroids.
steroids.
But guys, how about this? If you guys have any suspicions of someone who's in this gym who might be on steroids,
Mortaza.
leave it in the comments.
Oh, terrible.
Leave it in the comments. Let's start some comment wars.
Yes, in the thread there, some comments of who's on juice.
We need conspiracy theories.
I'd
We
love it
need
if they threw my
proofs.
name.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's so like I'd be like, wow, thank you.
I
Thank
mean,
you for thinking I'm so
would.
strong, even though like I'm so frail.
Yeah.
So you guys could throw my name into that. Definitely throw Murtaza's name. Anybody who beats us, basically. Let's put their names in
If
the
you've
chat.
noticed I'm getting jacked and
You
you're
have
thinking,
been.
what the hell?
Yes.
Throw it in.
Yeah.
But I'm not on steroids, I'm on creatine.
Creatine is good. Are we all drinking the creatine Kool-Aid where it's like...
You know, I'm doing the creatine collagen protein thing.
Epic.
Man, it does something to my throat.
Oh, in a good way or in a bad way?
In a bad way.
Oh.
Like it's like a nausea.
Really?
So I don't know if it's which one. I'm gonna try to leave out the collagen. See if it's the creatine. I'm gonna switch it around. I might even put the protein aside.
Yeah. Oof, I don't know about that, but I feel you.
I can eat chicken.
Yeah, you're still getting your protein one way or another, but if you want gains, like honest, like you always have to eat protein, dude.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
the building blocks for
I know.
muscle, you know.
Esteban, I don't know if we answered your question.
Yeah, I don't know
man,
either. But like my answer is, hey, if you're planning on one day beating Gordon Ryan, get to the pinnacle of your jiu-jitsu game.
Yeah.
Once you're at the pinnacle of your jiu-jitsu game, then honestly, like the other piece to that story is you have to have the physicality to be able to compete with these guys. If those guys are taking steroids, honest opinion, again, if you want to beat them, you got to be in that pool. If you're not, you're just, the truth is you're lying to yourself. You're just never going to beat those guys. Like, it's just period. So Esteban, if ever we get you into the ADCC finals of the absolute division, you better believe that we're going to be bumping you with steroids like those turkeys that I'm buying at the grocery store.
Yeah.
They're freaking massive.
But also, you got to learn the jiu-jitsu first, man. You got some years ahead of you.
I mean, that's what Gordon Ryan did.
Yeah.
You know, skinny dude, all the way up. And then at one point he's like, hey, I got to put on this muscle. All right, let's stamp
Esteban,
that one.
That's it.
That's it on you, Esteban. Thanks for the awesome question, though. Very fun. Also, I know a guy. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right, Lena. I love this question.
Let's go.
I love this question. Are there any bitch moves in BJJ? Bitch moves. What would you consider to be a bitch move?
Me?
Yeah.
You're asking me?
Yeah.
It's going to be controversial.
Is it pulling guard?
No. my own move. No. It's going to be wrist locks, dude. Anybody who wrist locks me is pulling a bitch move. I get it. You're allowed. But motherfucker, it's my wrist. Can you not break my wrist, please?
I'm not going to break your wrist.
Well, dude, I don't know. Like, if you're going to get me to tap from a wrist lock,
yeah,
you kind of have to shoot for breaking it. I mean, not. Like, wait.
Tap before. If I get your wrist in the position, right, where it's like this and you're not getting it back, motherfucker, tap.
Well, you know,
that's you. If you don't want me to put pressure on your wrist and your wrist is like this, just tap.
I mean, dude, I get it. But most people who apply it, it's freaking Randy Orton out of nowhere. Like, it's just literally, for anybody who gets that reference, maybe Spencer will get it. It's out of nowhere. And it's high velocity. Let's go. I'm going to just freaking take your wrist to your forearm. It's not like this progressive, like, wrist lock.
Yeah.
Like, they see it, and it's like they're throwing a jab. It's like, bam! And you're like, bah! And these high-level black belt guys, they know that's the only way they're going to catch a dude. Like, it's not like this progressive thing. It's like out of nowhere, dude. And it's devastating. The when I got my blue belt, the first day that I got my blue belt,
Yeah.
Sam, again, my freaking antichrist Sam, was like, oh, he got his blue belt, ha ha ha. In his head, he's like, I'm gonna wrist lock this MF all day. He's like, hey, let's roll. And I was like, awesome. Bro, he wrist locked me in that roll like 7 times. And I was like, dude, after every one of them, I was like, I get it. I'm a blue belt. I'm allowed to wrist lock now. So now you want to punish me, but can you not break my wrist? And then he would say yes. And then he would try to wrist lock me again. Like, and it's devastating. Bro, you need your wrists.
Yeah.
So for me, wrist locks, I get it. It's part of the game. But personally, bitch move.
All right, I'll tell you what. I love wrist locks.
Bitch move,
I
Max.
love
I
wrist
just said it
locks.
again.
And I don't do enough. I want to learn more. You know, here's the problem. No one teaches wrist locks.
Fact.
I want to learn wrist locks. I want to get them when I have someone inside my closed guard. I know that they're available there. I've been getting them now when I'm getting up from a single leg and a person gets a wizard on me. You can trap the arm there, and then if they, oh, dude, if you're not making a fist,
yeah, dude,
and your wrist is loose,
dude. Yeah, flimsy wrists.
I'm grabbing that hand.
It's true, dude.
I'm going for it now.
I believe it.
That's what I want.
Mm.
Look, for me, I love bitch moves, dude.
So you recognize in that statement that it is a bitch move.
No, whatever you would consider a bitch move or a cheaty move, I grab lapels. It's my favorite thing.
That could be considered maybe.
I'll come up with a single leg because I'm holding on to your lapel.
Epic.
And I will do it every single time.
Epic. But for you, what's do you have honestly, like, maybe you'll say like there are no bitch moves?
I don't think there are bitch moves.
For me, dude,
like,
it's the wrist lock.
I honestly thought that we were gonna say things like pulling guard, or like you know, like a bitch move could be like an unfair move, like a sneaky tactic. Or a bitch move could be like Nick Diaz when he goes, "What are we doing? Spinning shit now?"
What is that?
You know, like spinning shit. Like, what are you being fancy? Like, what are you doing? Bolos? You be doing Eminari rolls and shit.
Yeah.
You know, that can be considered like, what, you trying to be fancy with your jiu-jitsu?
I get you, but I do have one now about the bitch moves.
Eye poke?
Nah, that would be pretty bitchy. But you know what's a bitch move that I think most people potentially don't even realize is a bitch move, and I wonder if you can start to kind of like get my vibe here. But like, let's say roll starts. I'm about to roll with you. We're both staring into each other's eyes.
Oh, that's romantic, bro.
We're starting to get in there. We do the slap fist bump. And then somebody's like, hey, wait.
Hold on, I gotta tie my belt, bro.
No, that's not the bitch move. The bitch move is like, hey, wait. And you're like, what's up, bro? And they're like, oh,
my right shoulder hurts.
My right shoulder, my right knee, my right hip.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, man, don't worry. And they're like, yeah, you know, I'm busted up, or I don't know what the story is. And dude, I'll say it. I say that all the time. But here's where it becomes a bitch move. It becomes a bitch move when right after you say that fucking shit to me, you roll with hard. Me like you're fucking trying to win a gold medal. It's like, dude, what did you just say? You just told me you're busted. We started going all friendly. I gave you a little bit of a position, like only because like we're being friendly, like I'm being super cautious in my mind. I'm like, is this his right wrist? Like I'm doing the math, like, and then all of a sudden I'm in this shitty position and you are legit putting it on me and trying to submit me. It's like, dude, what happened 18 seconds ago when you were like, all of this shit is busted?
You were trying to get my sympathy.
Bro, it's a tactic. It's like a lot of times.
It's the art of war, man.
Dude, it really is.
Yeah.
And now, because that has happened to me so often, people are like, and they know that people in this gym kind of have an idea that I'm always injured. And they're like, hey, anything busted on you? And I'm like, that's my responsibility.
It is.
And that's what I say now. I'm like, yes, but that's my responsibility. You have to do you.
Absolutely, man.
And like, live your life, dude. Like, I got to protect my stuff. If I'm silly enough my right knee is busted and I'm sticking it out to like playing whatever, some sort of guard where it's like, no, Abby, keep that shit in. You lost that limb. Like, you can't use that. Ends there. But those dudes who pitch you on a story and then put you on a wavelength only to mess you up, that's super B.
Man, there are some people, no matter yeah, no matter what, they cannot roll chill.
That's the truth.
Even if they are actually injured and they do actually want to be slow and they do tell you, hey, let's roll slow, I'm injured, be careful and all that. As soon as the bell rings, there's something that goes off in their head where it's, you do this, I do that. You do this, I do that.
Facts.
And then next thing you know, you're in a competition round with a guy who just claimed that he had a bad shoulder.
Facts.
I'll tell you this, dude. You got a bad shoulder, you're hurt, but you agreed to roll with me or you asked me to roll with you. It's your responsibility to tap early on whatever,
everything,
a sub, whatever it is, okay?
100.
If you tap super early and you want to save face, then tell me after.
100%, dude.
I tap, I didn't let you set that up completely because I got a bad shoulder.
Fair, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. That's the right etiquette. But this like trickery, and bro, I've been in this game now long enough to be able to say so many of us do that. I've been guilty of that. And it's not done super on purpose, but I have said like, hey, watch out for this. And then it's like, I forget during the roll, but like no more. Like, cause that's a bitch move. Like, it just straight up
I'll tell you what, it might be a white belt move.
It could be right.
Because I remember doing that as a white belt. Now, let's also say that as a white belt, at least for me, you do get more injured and you do get more hurt. And I think it's because your body isn't conditioned to the type of pressure and angles and weird things that we put ourselves through. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So, yeah, you do get more hurt as a white belt. And, you don't know much, so you always get smashed. So maybe saying like, hey, dude, I got a bad shoulder. I think white belts, to a certain extent, you get a little bit of a pass.
I honestly agree, because they are kind of saying that, and they're just telling the dude like, or maybe like my intention at least is kind of like, bro, you can go, maybe this is not communicated, but what I would want to communicate if I can go back to being a white belt, it's like, hey, my knee's a little messed up, but I'm still gonna roll. That doesn't mean like take it easy on me. It just means like, I don't know, maybe my knee is the wrong example, like my elbow's a little banged up. It just means like, if you get me in an arm bar, don't like break it. Like, it just means in that moment, foot off the gas, please.
Yeah.
I think that's more what I'm communicating. And then,
And as a brand new white belt, you don't understand the positions. You don't know where you're safe. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Things seemingly come out of nowhere, right? You're worried. You're scared. You don't know what's going on.
Yes.
I understand if you're a brand new white belt from, let's say, 0 to, let's say, 8 months or a year. A year, you should be starting to know what's going on.
0 to 8, I think is fair.
0 to 8, then I understand. You just want. It's almost like letting the person know, like, I'm not used to this. My shoulder's fucked up. I don't know you. I don't trust you. I'm asking for your sympathy here. Don't fuck up my shoulder, dude. That's fine.
That's super well said. That is super well said. But then
you got to roll as if you just asked for that sympathy.
Like, let's keep that
chill.
In context.
Let's chill.
And also, but that's for the white belt. They do get the pass. We should, like, the white belt pass. They honestly get the white belt.
That's a white belt pass.
They have to learn with time, like we did. But you know who doesn't get that pass? Purple belts.
Oh.
And dude, that still exists, by the way. That is art of war. And they'll to the point where
that's a character defect.
It is
at that point. If you're a purple belt and you're still fucking doing that tactic, it's a character defect. You need to go to therapy.
Yes, therapy. We got to get you on this couch. Like, we got to talk this through, because they'll even go as far.
What's what's it called in like a cult where they sit a person down and they
Oh, right.
pressure
We
him?
gotta, but not only pressure him, we gotta like manipulate his
Yeah, yeah,
mind type
yeah,
thing, show him reels,
yeah.
like
I'll
throw the
think of the
light
word.
into
Yeah.
his eyes. Uh,
Anyways,
but that person, to that person, they go as far. Max, dude, they do this. They'll be like, hey, this is busted, this is busted, this is busted. And then when they start the roll with you, bro, I promise you that they start off at the pace that is with the storyline. I'm hurt. And so it's so art of war because now it puts you on that pace. But then, like I said, man, they get you in the right position. They brought you to that like cove.
yep.
And now they're like, all right,
When they see their opening,
it's smash time. And
0
it's
to
like,
60.
what happened, dude? Like I thought you had me walking. We were walking together.
And now you're on my back
And
with
now
2 hooks in?
2 hooks in.
What the
What
fuck?
happened? Like I'm defending, like my life depends on it, and then like you sub me, and then like again, like we restart that process, dude. I'm not your punching bag for you to be able to kind of. We're not gonna keep this storyline. No, like if it always ends with this, no to this storyline. And there's a lot of dudes who do that move, whether consciously or unconsciously. And if you asked me, I would say it's unconscious.
That is the question, dude. To what level are people aware of their character flaws? Because a lot of these people on the mats who misbehave, let's say, whether it's exactly what we're talking about now, where you just cannot have a chill roll, or you say you want a chill roll and then you don't succeed in having a chill roll, man, I don't think these people actually mean to be doing that. I think they're not, even if they're aware of their character flaws, there's something that they just can't control to a certain extent. I don't think we should. By the way, well, all right. Let's just say this: to a certain extent, I don't think that we should be making these people out to be the bad guys. I don't. But I also don't think that they should get a pass. I think that you should identify that person. Tell yourself this is the person who cannot be chill, and every time you roll with them, go in with the knowledge that this isn't going to be a chill roll. Doesn't matter what he says. Doesn't matter how hurt he is. If I accept rolling with this person right now, I have to assume that it is not going to be chill because that is what he has proven to me time and time again.
Dude, that is the most powerful thing. What you just said is so true. And it literally took me like 4 years of making that mistake to finally believing it. So if I can speak to any white belts, you don't need to go through 4 years. And dude, I promise you, on my life, on
3
my
rolls.
Life, 3 is
Give them
a good
3 rolls. If they behave
number.
the same way, 3 rolls in a row,
it's beyond
you can
them.
just assume that is who they are.
It's beyond them, and they are not doing it to be super malicious. It's just, it's a blind spot for them that they don't even realize. And I promise you, I've been there. That person for me coming up injured me twice, and literally in the roll, prior to the roll, I've actually said the words to that person: "You don't know how to be chill. I can't roll with you." And then they've promised me that they can, and then they've hurt me. Literally like that. That exact storyline. It's very difficult. And there's like a fable. I don't know. I love this fable.
I was thinking about
you were thinking about that guy? Mortaza first initiated me to this fable where, and I know there are many versions of it with many different animals, but I just love the story. So there's a frog and there's a scorpion.
That's the one.
And the scorpion is like on one end of the riverbank, and he like flags over the frog. Frog swims over and he's like, "What's up, scorpion?" And he's like, "Dude, I need you to get me across this riverbank." Frog's like, "What, dude? Like, hell no. Like, you're a scorpion. Like, I'm not gonna, what do you want to do?" He's like, "I'll jump on your back. You'll take me to the other side." He's like, "No." He's like, "You're a scorpion. You're going to sting me." He's like, "Bro, why would I sting you? If I sting you, like, we're both going to die in the water. I don't want that." Frog's like, "That kind of makes perfect sense. Like, yeah, why would you sting me? We would both die. That makes perfect sense." Scorpion jumps on the frog's back halfway down towards the other side of the riverbank. Scorpion stings the frog. They both die. And as they're dying, there's like kind of like, I don't even know, like they're underwater. I guess maybe there's like a bubble that comes up, and he's like, "Why did you do that to me, bro?" And he's like, "I'm a scorpion." Scorpions are gonna do what scorpions do, and no joke, that is this exact scenario.
Yeah.
No matter what the dude tells you or girl, it's beyond them. It's stronger than them. You almost can't hold it against them in some weird way. It's how they were made. But the silliness is you believing them after 3 rolls. That's on you, dude.
And I will say this. Not that people cannot change, all right? So you shouldn't put that on them, all right, like a permanent thing that is forever them now, and they have to die with it. And you still have to give them the opportunity to be able to correct that, right? So, but I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to do that test for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, still expect them to roll the way that they roll, but maybe one day you'll be surprised and you'll be like, "Holy shit, that felt different. You're normally a psycho. Today I didn't feel like you were a psycho. Today you were kind of chill."
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Some people can surprise you. You know, people go through shit in their lives, man.
Yeah.
You know, and it has it has an effect on the mats.
Yeah. I'll tell you though, Max, I swear to you, I'm yet to be surprised. I'm telling you honestly, dude. I am yet to be surprised.
I'm not going to say names because this podcast isn't about names, although it can't be about, but there's one person on the mats here who has surprised me.
Is it because they graduated from being a spaz to kind of like not being a spaz? Or have they truly graduated?
Know. It could have been, listen, here's the other thing. It could have been that he was just extremely tired.
Oh, it's a he.
Yeah. It's a he. I mean, yeah, but the girls aren't normally. Actually, you know what? The person who asked this question, Lena.
Yes.
She goes all out.
Oh, Lena goes all out.
And
Lena's
she's a killer.
Lena's a soldier, so I can say it straight up. Lena is a soldier. She's a high-level competitor. Her jiu-jitsu honestly leaves me in awe. Like, when she was white belt, blue belt, I was like, damn, she's out to get you. But yeah, Lena, no chill. Lena will take you out. Like, she literally, like, and I say this honest to God, in the most beautiful way, Lena is a scorpion. Lena is just like, yo, I'm here to kill, and I'm like, period.
When she grabs a choke, she chokes.
Yeah,
when she grabs an arm bar, she cranks.
Yeah, I love it. Well, not crank like in the bad way. Like,
she falls for it.
Yeah, she goes for it. You know,
she finds.
She's trying to get the sub. You know, so she's awesome.
Find that elbow.
She is. She's epic.
Thank you, Lena, for that wonderful question.
Yes, Lena. What was the question?
Are there really any bitch moves in BJJ?
Yes, I think the conclusion is wrist locks and scorpions. That's the way we're gonna call them. Are you a scorpion or a frog? I don't even know. Probably not a frog. Basically, here's what I just want to say. Those people who are living that life, you need to acknowledge that you're that person as well. And it's fine. You will find people who want to roll that way. And you shouldn't be going after these small goldfish. Like, you should just be like, I'm gonna shout out Wafa. Wafa has told me, hey, if you're too injured and I have to focus on too many things, like, I just don't want to roll with you. I want to roll. She's like, I want to roll. So if you can't offer me that, then I don't want to roll with you. Like, I don't want to have to think about you. She's a white belt. She's straight up saying like, hey, I'm doing me. Like, I don't want to think of you and what you're bringing to the table and your injuries. If you don't want that, if you don't want to roll, then don't roll with me. And she's the first person to ever put it that way at such an early stage in her development. And I loved it. I was like, she knows exactly who she is. She's going to find the people in this room that want the same thing, and they're going to develop at an exponential rate because they're going to be pushing each other.
Yeah.
And there's no problem doing that. So that's kind of how I feel about that.
Yeah.
All right, last one, Max.
Okay, here we go.
Last one. Pick a good one.
All right.
I'm going to give you a little time.
I'm actually curious to see. I'm going to walk up to the camera here.
Where are you going?
Breaking the fourth wall.
Leaving me alone on this?
How much time?
Oh, my God. I feel naked.
All right, we've been going for 58 minutes.
I mean, yeah, we're gonna do a little quickie.
Last one.
Yeah.
All right, we got one from Hugo Litret.
Yes, Hugo.
Does he train here?
Used to, I believe. Not 100% sure. Anyways, much love.
How do you know? Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. How do you know you are ready for your first tournament?
I'm gonna ask you this every time. You want me to shoot first?
No, you can go for it.
No. You know what? I feel like you have something to say, Max.
Okay. We talked about this the two last, or I think we talk about every single podcast we do. How do you know? Okay. As a white belt, you should know some things, right? They're very basic things. You should at least know how to pull guard, you know? You should at least know how to do a bit of grip fighting. You should know maybe the closed guard position. You should know how to get out of closed guard. You should know an X choke. You know, you should know maybe an Americana, okay? You don't need a wide arsenal of things, but you need to be able to know how to do some jiu-jitsu. You can't be going into your first tournament with just being a complete spaz and not having any jiu-jitsu. You need to know the point system. You need to know how to not sweep yourself.
Yeah, that's such a funny and true thing.
Yeah.
They all do that.
If you're on top, you need to stay on top. If you get a sweep and you end up on top, you know, you need to know these basic things. After that, you need to understand that if you're doing your first tournament, if you're doing at a white belt, you're going to be going up against other white belts and you're going to be competing at the white belt level.
I'm gonna be able to compound on these statements. You're putting me in the right direction. Keep going.
So basically, if you have a coach who has realistic expectations for a white belt, all right, you should just go through with him. What are the basic things that I need to know? And once you know these things and you can implement them on the mats, then you're ready for your first match. First time competing, it's like, you know, you're gonna have nerves. You're gonna be going through, you know, the registration process, the am I on weight process, the going to the venue, checking your app, being sure that you know at what time you're on one mat and all that, and going to the mat. If you got to put on that dumbass blue and yellow belt, you might have to do that.
Yellow one. That's so silly, dude. When are they gonna do away with that silliness?
I don't know.
It's like I'm wearing two belts.
Yeah,
It's wrapped around me 16 times.
Yeah, you know what? The next time that I have to wear that belt, am I allowed to take off my own belt and just put on that belt? So
I've seen some people do it, but that makes perfect sense to me, honestly. Yeah.
So you're never gonna feel ready for your first. I mean, unless you're sandbagging like a lot, you know what I mean? But you're never really going to feel ready. I say, as soon as you know these basic things, if you want to compete, just compete.
I hear that. All right, so hit me with it one more time, Max.
How do I know I'm ready for my first tournament?
How do I know? So the person is speaking from their own perspective. And the truth is, so far, in my experience in this gym, barely, if any, has ever known that answer. You will never, ever feel like you're ready. That's the honest truth. For the most part, unless you've been a competitive guy in another arena where you've had that experience, where you know what it's like to kind of compete, if it's your first time competing in a sport, you will never get that feeling. That is not a feeling somebody is born with. That is something you have to overcome. It's a feeling that you have to overcome because you can never be completely ready. You'll never know enough jiu-jitsu. You'll never know enough anything. You're always going to have that sentiment inside that it says, I don't know enough. So that bar, you start telling yourself like, am I ready? Am I ready? And everybody that I've ever seen ask me that question, I've always told them, the same thing. Like I do the mental math of all the points that you just mentioned. Like, does he even understand what the word sweep means? Does he understand the point system? Like, has he been here for like a certain amount of time where Like we're not just throwing him into a pool of water and we're saying swim. Like he has some general direction. So I'm making sure to check that. But from their perspective, they have to understand you will never be ready. And the longer you put this off, the more true that statement is going to become, because that's going to restart at white belt, at blue belt, at purple belt, at brown belt, at black belt. Even Mortaza, when he became a black belt and he did his first competition, he went through the same emotional roller coaster that white belts go through, the same exact one. He asked himself, am I ready? Like, am I ready to go into the black belt division and go against black belts? And it was a big thing for him. Like his first match as black belt, he submitted the other guy.
I know, I saw it.
And dude, like
perfect game.
Even when I think about it right now, like it hits like an emotional spot on me. He was like, I'm really a black belt. And I was like, damn, that's so real. Like even after 14, 15 years of doing like grappling, you needed this moment to validate a little bit like the feeling that you are like you're ready and that you're capable. I was like, that's so crazy. I was like, dude, you are a black belt, like in every sense of the word, but it doesn't go away, that feeling. So you always have to know it will never go away. The battle is, and the courage is, are you capable of overcoming those thoughts of self-doubt? That's the, and I know you've spoken to me a little bit about like what it means to be courageous. It's like, I think you could probably put it in better words.
I can try. I mean, there's a bunch of quotes on that. Like, what is courage? It's to
despite.
Yes.
Right.
It's to doubt yourself, to have fear, but despite those feelings, you move forward with the actions.
That to me is really what we're saying here.
That's the difference between. So I think in those quotes, they always try to make a distinction between a coward and someone who has courage. The coward would cower away, right? He would feel these things and cower away. And someone who's courageous would feel the same exact things as the coward, but move forward with the actions instead.
And that to me, I've only today am I realizing that is what I've been trying to communicate to the class when I tell them, hey guys, there's a bunch of white belts here. And I don't care if you compete 1,000 times, 100 times, or just once. But I want you to compete. It's part of this journey, because overcoming that where you don't feel ready, but you still step up and you still do it. I don't care if you get tapped in 5 seconds when you do your first tournament. The fact that you had the courage to overcome your fears, your self-doubt, your inadequacies, I'm not ready, I'm not this, all the story, whatever your storyline is, whatever it is that you have to feed yourself so that you can step away from that mat, if you can overcome all that language and still do it, you have learned one of the most valuable lessons that jiu-jitsu can teach you. And I promise you, it keeps repeating. At blue belt, you're like, damn, am I ready now to step into the blue belt division? Do I know enough? Are these guys so much more advanced? Purple belt, same, brown, black. This is the story of this sport. You must do despite your inadequacies, and just believe in yourself and believe in the process and be able to put yourself out there, overcome that fear, and focus in on what you have to do in that moment. You don't know everything.
Yeah.
But do you know something? Do you know one thing that you can try and apply in that match? Try. Because if you don't succeed, you'll learn. But if you do succeed, you'll also learn. Try to apply what you know. You can't possibly know everything.
And here's the thing to put you at ease if you are a white belt and you're thinking about competing for the first time. You're going up against other white belts. They're going to be in your age bracket and they're going to be in your weight bracket. So these guys just know, they know as much as you. They should be as strong as you. All right, there's still differences, but in competition, I mean, in almost any sport, it's kind of a level playing field.
Yeah, there's a level playing field. You know, and we're operating within a bracket. Obviously, like we said, there are sandbaggers, but again, is that really what we're testing that day? bro.
That's true.
Nobody cares.
Show up. Show
God
up.
bless you. Like,
Just
you want a
show up.
gold medal, you want a silver medal, you want a bronze. I'll say one last thing. The guys who have impressed me the most are the guys who I know their fear and they still do it.
Yeah.
I promise you, those guys are so freaking impressive to me versus the gifted athlete who is just, showing up to collect.
Yeah.
That guy, honestly, as impressive as he is, and bless him in a different way, he has other attributes that I look up to in a crazy way, consistency, all that stuff. But the guy who shows up despite his ultimate fears, or the girl, and they still show up and they get their butt kicked, man, I go to bed thinking of those people. I literally do. They become literally my heroes because I think of an area in my life where maybe I don't want to put the toe in, or I don't want to take that first step. And then I think of them and I say, man, those people were deathly afraid of doing that thing. But on my advice, me telling them, you can do this. I believe in you. I want you to compete. They've taken my word. And despite their fears, they've been able to put themselves in that scenario. Yo, those people are literally my heroes. And I have a mental list of them. And when I think of something that I have to do that's very scary, or that's overwhelming, or that's going to make me feel very vulnerable, I think of those people. And I really have, like, the list is getting longer and longer through this gym. And they're my heroes, dude. I don't say that like, I really feel that in my heart. It's just the truth. So who asked this question? Hugo, you're our hero, dude, because you know the right question. To all the white belts out there,
Yeah.
it's not about the win. It's not about the loss. Overcoming your fears, being the courageous.
Yeah. Keep showing up.
Keep showing up.
Hey, man, that was the show, dude.
Let's do it. We got another one coming up, but this is our Christmas special show. We didn't wear our Christmas hats. Maybe I should have wore a Christmas hat.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Today
it
I
could've
went no hat. I wanted kind of people to realize I'm not always going to wear a hat. I threw it. It's on the floor over there. But
dude, if we both wear hats all the time, we could, the thing is that this is a winter thing, I don't wear this in the summer. I fucking start sweating and shit.
yes.
But we could be like the Beanie Boys.
That's kind of like, that's kind of dope. But that's like a hybrid. I feel like this could be a summer hat.
It's thick.
Dude, one of the coolest guys that I know. He was my.
Isn't there a brand of Oriental guys that have like
the red guy? The Fez?
No,
or whatever?
not the Fez.
No.
It's like it's like a beanie, but
does it have like the black thing around it and the white cloth or the red cloth or
no cloth?
No cloth.
It's a beanie, but it's like knitted.
Oh, I feel you. So there's a lot of gaps.
Yeah.
Breathable beanie.
Yeah.
It looks like a hacky sack, but on your head.
Yeah, a little bit. Yes.
I feel you. It's like a Jamaican move.
Not the yarmulke.
I feel you. Not the yarmulke.
It's a full thing.
Yeah, like it's Jamaican style. Some of them use it.
But it fits like a beanie. It's not a hair thing.
I think we have a business.
All right. Anyways.
Yeah. Let's go.
I'll try to figure that out.
All right. So what's coming up? SAU. This is for like our people. February 15, SAU. We've been talking about competitions. Also, more and more questions. Let's keep the good times rolling. Max, you're also my hero.
Send us some questions. We're gonna need some more questions. We're all out of questions.
Yeah, statements. We're gonna have to start asking ChatGPT for questions. Oh man, we can't ask ChatGPT for questions.
You guys can do it.
We can count on the humans.
Dude, come on. Fuck those robots. What are we going to be taking over? It's going to become the Matrix.
It's like one dude, one real dude and 99
robots. Like, subscribe.
Thanks, guys.
Start comment wars.
Yes, comment wars. But we definitely need, guys, homies from our family. Yo, hit the subscribe button. That'll help. Just throw us a like. Write something funny in the comments.
Let's get
we're trying to game the algorithm here. So hook us up.
That's
Max, right here.
Yeah.
Later, homie. Oh, my back. Oh, my jiu-jitsu back.